Right then, trying to tie up a few loose ends from the previous videos. We're just recording, Dan, it's all right. I have just told him as well that we're recording. What? I said I'm recording on the A5. I said, don't come over and fart, so he decided to come over and shout instead. Anyway, cut this in. We're going to put him in. So yeah, before interruptions, we've got a few loose ends we needed to tie. We're going on a track day, evening track day later on. So we're going to try and get everything, not perfect, it never is, as good as we can before we go there. So we've just fitted this. This is the high pressure oil cooler now. This one will take, the burst pressure is about 50 bar or something crazy like that. But we're only wanting to run 18, maybe 20 bar through it. So that means we had to change for the Teflon braided hoses as well. So we've had to upgrade to them, which their burst pressure is something absolutely ridiculous, like 300 bar, 400 bar or something stupid. So we should be fine with them. So this one, it's the same size fins as the last one. Not as big as the one that we put on there that busts, so you don't need to cut the crash bar you have. But we'll try and send this kit out with the brackets that you need to do it. So we've got 3 mounting points, that should be plenty. The bumper still fits nice. And because this one came black, I painted this one black. So hopefully this works. Don't give us any trouble. We didn't really have much trouble when we were at the Nurburgring with the gearbox oil temperatures, but like I said before, pulling it out of park sometimes were a bit hard. So it were definitely struggling, at least on the edge. So the standard radiator's still on there at the minute, because I want to test this first. The standard oil cooler that sits inside this radiator is still there, but we didn't have a repeater last time where we had some trouble and we had to do all the front end again. This aircon rad's absolutely goosed. I think we're sort of at the stage now where a new one of them probably wouldn't either, so I might try and get one ordered because we put a new sensor on there and didn't get time to regas the aircon, so we'll probably swap that because that's not going to be helping us. So yeah, that's the cooling side, should be in check. Whether we get that done before we go on the track date, I'm not sure we're going to have time, and at least I don't want to tempt fate like last time, so we'll just test this out a bit more before we get too crazy. The other things we're going to do, we've bled the brakes already. The fluid that came out of those were perfect. Could have still gone again. We never had them fade on track, but Donington's a really hard track on brakes because it's not very fast to get the cool in there in areas, and you've got some big braking zones. So that'll be the true test of these brakes in anger when we've got the full 420 horsepower. But the brake pads, not even half worn after all the miles that we've done in Germany and the track days that we did there and the Nurburgring runs. And we did Donington evening beforehand. We're going to probably get a little bit more brake cooling in there if we can get something to just aim a bit more air, at least even if it's just towards these Porsche Macan ducts that we've got on there. But it'd be nice if we could get something really into the middle of these vanes, but it doesn't seem to be happening, not on this platform anyway. The other addition as well, these weren't on our tyre vlog that we did. These are some Yokohama AO5 tools. We found that the Nankangs weren't really doing it for us on the hard track use. They were consistent all the time, and if it bangs it down, you'd be hoping you had something like that on. But from our testing, the next step up from the Nankangs are the AR1s, which they're fine if it's dry, but we've drove a few cars in the damp for the AR1s and it's not ideal. So for a full, if this were an all-in-art track car, we'd be trying them AR1s and see what difference we got between those and the tyres that we've tested before. But these AO5 tools are what we've tested on our Ibiza race car, and we tend to aim towards these when we're running the track day trophy, which you've got a bit bigger tyre choice. But these are quite good in the damp as well. When it's absolutely pouring down with rain, you want to be putting Uniroyal rain sports on, or like the Nankang AS2s or whatever that we've got on on the daily 20s, you'd sooner run them. But for track use where you're going to be running it hard and it might be a little bit damp, these are what we've found were decent. They're quite expensive. I think you're looking at not far off £1,000 worth of tyres in 18s. So these are 295, I believe. Where's it telling me? I don't want to tell lies. Yeah, 295, 35 18s, and they're on an 8-inch wide rim. 10-inch wide rim, should I say, 18 by 10. So when we get on track and you see what cars are on there and who we're going with, you'll see why we've gone straight to the top shelf for the tyres. We want to do the diesels proud and not be skidding about all over on the wrong tyres. So we're going to try these. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Maybe if it spots a little bit, we'll still be fine. Brakes are bled. The next thing we're going to do when we've got it off the ramp, obviously put the bumper back on when these wheels on, take it over to the alignment ramp, and we're going to set the suspension back up a little bit more aggressively, because when we went to the Nurburgring, it's a lot more high speed than tight and twisty stuff. So we went a little bit less aggressive on the toe, so the rear were more towing, the front were a little bit more towing, and that worked. The car were really stable. Probably if we had an infinite amount of time and the inclination to do it, we'd spend a bit more time at the Nurburgring getting that set up for that track. But we know what we want at Donington Park. We can get away with it being a little bit more lively on the back end. Nothing too crazy, because Craner Curves is quite leery if you've got it lively on the back end. So we'll get all this done and we'll try and get some good footage on track. Right then, not what we wanted the morning before we go on another track day. We've obviously spoke about everything else we'd done. We've got a little gearbox leak, so I'll show you what we thought we were going to be changing. If you saw on earlier videos, we had all this stuff out when we were going to inspect that bearing at back, and we thought we'd got a little bit too much play in that. And I put a new seal behind here, so I'm not the best mechanic in the world, so I second guessed myself, ordered a new seal for that, thinking it could be that. Because we'd had that off, we thought it could be this O-ring, so we've ordered them from Audi, not expensive, so put a new one of them in. We're just hoping put that in, which is a subframe down job, bit of pain, as you can see, everything's all dropped down to get to it. But then if you dig deep in here and have a look what the actual problem is, get a big crack, ridiculous. So I think we might have found the limit of these. We've done loads of testing on the launch control, because this car, everybody keeps asking, why can't you launch it proper, why can't you launch it properly? The software in this gearbox has not got the proper launch control. So when we've been doing the testing, the launch control strategy that we've been able to get, well, basically holding the clutches still, so we're putting loads of torque and loads of effort through whilst holding it on the brake. So maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe it's just the torque in the gear, like in a long gear pull that's doing it. Maybe it's jumping it at the Nurburgring. We're not too sure what's caused the problem, but we've cracked the gearbox. We need to sort it. This is the Gen 1 DL501 gearbox, which is a 7-speed DSG. This is Gen 1.5 and Gen 2. So as an upgrade, at least to get this back up and running properly, to fix it properly, should I say, we're going to probably put a Gen 2 in there and make sure it behaves. That's probably the cheapest option. For people that have got these gearboxes and want to strengthen them up, while it's all off, we're going to have a good look and see if we can come up with some sort of strengthening plates or whatever. Maybe something exists already in the market. We've literally just found this, so we've done like no research whatsoever into it. But where the crack is, it's directly opposite the bevel gear that goes to the rear diff as well. So, well, to the rear of the gearbox. So it's looking at where it is and where it's situated. It's like the gearbox is trying to split apart, which is what angled gears do. They try and drive apart, so you've got to try and hold them together. It's quite thin on the casing where it's broken. So we booked on a track day this evening. The car's all ready, it's as good as it's ever been. We've got the big tyres on, we've done everything we want to do, so we don't want to not take it. And to be fair, we know we've got a problem with this, but we want to know what it manifests into as well, and maybe we'll see better what the problem is. So we're going to just put some chemical metal on the outside to stop the leak. It will literally a drip if you left it ticking over for an hour. So we're not worried that it's going to be spraying gearbox all over the place. It's just going to be a little bit, so we'll just put some chemical metal on the outside, take it to this track day, and then we've got the next instalment of the video. See what's going on for that one. We're probably going to be getting it wrapped and facelifted and all that stuff, so we want to take it here and just see what it can do, and then this should open us up for the next round of modifications, and this will probably be the last track day it does on this turbo with this setup, because we never built this to be 420 horsepower, we wanted it to be a lot more. So we'll get this sorted, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So wish us luck. So we had a little think about this and decided we booked on at this track day. There's no point throwing it away. So we got some chemical metal out, which gets people out of a lot of trouble. As you can see, we've gone a little bit on inside. Didn't really want to do too much. We've done a little bit on outside. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oh, you see it there. Looks worse. Don't look as smooth. The access is limited. So the other thing you might be able to see is these drill marks here. So we've put these in the only place that we can get in with a angle drill, which I don't know where my angle drill's gone. Kicking about somewhere. Probably put it back on van. Oh, it's there. It's there behind me. Danny's found it for me. So we had to grind up a drill bit and make it from a 12 to 11 point something or whatever. So we made a custom drill bit to do that. And then what we've done here, these are the dowels, aren't they, that hold a gearbox casing together. So in an ideal world, if the gearbox were out, we'd do this. I'd just do it on every one, but at least a couple of opposite ones, because what we're thinking is, we're not engineers really, we just have a go at whatever we can with time we've got. But what we're thinking is, if this diff's trying to push, this machine has got an O-ring in it, once that bottoms out, or the bolt bottoms out, all the force will be pushing against that one bolt at the front where it's cracked. So if you put dowels on this can't move. The other casing is not going to move. So I don't think it's a complete bulletproof fix, but it definitely can't hurt to do it. So maybe this is something we offer as a service. We're just going to run this until it dies. So it might not last this track day. It might last till after we've been to Santa Pod in a few weeks. That was the plan, to take it there, but obviously if this babbed its end, then we weren't going to take it. But we've got his eyes on another gearbox from a later model, because this is the Gen 1 DL501. We've got his eyes on a Gen 2, so see how it goes. So Paul's going to get this whack back in, and then when that's in, hopefully, and we don't find anything else, and the next video, you see part of the video, was us having a good laugh on track, so let's see what happens. Big thumbs up. We're ready to rock. We're all good. The van's already gone. Dan and Scott's on the way. A couple of cats to feed on the way though. Don't forget about them. Oh, you'll be on telly this time, George.
Daddy, have a nice time.
an empty English motorway, it looks like. They put them signs up, slow everybody down, you've seen no pedestrians, yeah.
Briefing's at 5. Oh dear. So we're here, briefing's on. Never come to an outdoor briefing, but see how this goes. So we're here in the garage, the M4, A5. The beef is over there somewhere behind that Golf. This is still leaking a tiny little bit of oil. I don't know if one drip while it's been parked there. So they're just going to get it up in air and have a look. It was a bit lastminute.com before we got here. I'm going to stick tracking gauges on this and just verify it's all alright after taking subframe off. So should be all good. I'm going to take this out for a spin. First time I'm going to have been out in it. First time it's going to have been on track in our ownership. There's a few more of them ways. I'm not going to try and keep up with all of them. They're driving better than me. Right, just been out in M4, crazy fast, easy to drive with the MDM still turned on. Not sure I want to put it in gravel yet, turn MDM off and have zero traction control. We just took a guy out in it who's been here on a bike track there and he was laughing his head off. So, see what we can do in the A5 now, it's all ready. Paul and Dan's done a bit of alignment stuff. So, see how we're getting on. Hopefully that gearbox don't get any worse, so we've got to drive it back home, but only do a few hot laps if it causes some problems. Try and record some stuff on the way around, so wish us luck. So, right in the A5 for the first time on the new tyres, the new power. Try and get it warmed up. See what it'll do. Let's catch this Porsche. S. I don't know how fast they are, but not as fast as this. Thank you, Peugeot. Grip this has got, it's unbelievable. 121.2. That's quick. Tyres do feel like they want bleeding a little bit. Pressures must have come up a little bit too much. Car's still feeling fairly good. Be a bit greedier with this curb. Not on exit curb though. Tyres won't bleed it down, pressures have come up for definite. Still 0.3 seconds up on that lap time, so maybe we can, these Porsches get out of the way. That's a Clio Cup car there. last flyer. 120, 51. No wrong with that. The water injection decided not to work. Wipers are on now. Scott must be cooling it down. Can't do anything stupid. Yeah. Very, very happy with that. So we've knocked about 5 or 6 seconds off. Well, at least 5 seconds off the last fastest lap we did on the Nankan tyres. There's definitely tons still in this car. I think we can get into 119s with that. So, we'll bleed them tyres off. See what we're at. Oh, good sesh. What do you reckon, Dan?
Bang on it.
It's not, it don't drive like it's as heavy as it is, does it?
No.
You can turn again, and if you've missed it, just turn a bit more and it just it just goes in. Like Arctic corner, tight corners, them M4s can't get power down, they just stamp it and just dragging on them.
It's hungry like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just twitch it straight through. We'll jump out. We'll do the temps and the pressures. Matt's here to save the day. So, we're just taking Bobby out in the A5. We've got twice the displacement and a good couple of hundred horsepower on him. ESP's off, the track's clear, the sun's in my eyes. We'll let it have it. Completely missed apex here, need a bit more heat in these tyres. Window up a little bit, I can't hear it all. So, get on it, see what happens. Scott's been out for ages trying to beat me lap. He said I've been cheating for some reason. I must have been trying hard because all balance weights on wheels have come off. So. Are definitely shaking a bit now. The rubbish on way home. Already slower than fastest lap by a fair bit, so gear changes are seeming a little bit lazier, whether I'm just revving it a bit higher because I'm used to that M4. Well, these don't want to get out of my way even though I've just caught them up. And I've lost nearly 2 seconds just sat here. Can't see a thing here. Temps all look good. Section 2CV. He takes a racing line, no matter where everybody is. Lifting a wheel up, so he's trying. He's indicating on it. Thank you kindly. Not a nice place to overtake here. Wrong place here. What will it be? Just said for him. See, nearly stopped. 2CV nearly running to back of me there. Still not the quickest way into the other time I went. Time was counting up all the time there, so we didn't get the best focus there. Try and get a good exit here and try and go through a good lap. This car in front getting his way. M140. 0.3 seconds down on this. Surprising. .74 down now. So 1.4 red flag. Someone's kicked off. Hopefully snow to the wheels. Let it cool down a bit. What do you reckon, Bobby?
Yeah.
You can throw it about a bit, can't you?
This is rapid.
Yeah. Nimble as well.
I can't believe it. I didn't even get a chance to say anything.
You normally don't shut up, so.
I just can't believe it. This is one nice A5.
Some that's in gravel, I hope.
This is the first time I've been with you.
Maybe, yeah, I think it's the first time you've been out with me, yeah. You didn't seem to be getting scared anyway, that's a good thing.
I trust you.
No, good. Not many people trust me.
Yeah. Scott, I'm not sure about.
His head can go a bit. His head can go. So you think it's alright then?
That was good. That was rapid.
What do you reckon then, Bobby?
Absolutely amazing.
What do you think of brakes?
The brakes are so good, it just stops just like that. Just like that.
I can't get many words out of Bobby. He never normally shuts up, but as soon as camera comes on, he's not interested. Yeah, just drinking a bit of water. Water meh. Coolant's good. Fans are on, so ECU's doing what it should be doing. Mike's just having a look, see what he can figure. Brakes absolutely stink. Just lock wheel over, please, Mike. Wheel. This way. Tyres are doing good. It's hardly wore them, to be fair. Yeah, tyres look good. No arch scrubbage. Even though they're fairly big profile. Ride's nice. So, all in all, it's working good. So, very happy. Ibiza, doing a bit of testing on that. Didn't really get a chance to say much about that when I come down early, because Steph had already set off a bit early because he got trailed and needed to fuel up. But we had a terrible result of the week, and I think Scott came 15th, got up to something like 10th in track day championship. But the problem was, he didn't know the track very well, and then he had a little bit of an off when there was a Clio behind him. And then when he did that, he went up grass, and then after that he was keeping an eye on his coolant temp gauge, and it was like 120 degrees, so he thought he'd bust radiator or something like that. We were only 3 or 4 laps from end. But when we look back through data, you can't really see it from here. Just one of our radiators. It looks like when we'd had the accident before and all the car were twisted, it bent the radiator and then sprung back, and it got a tiny, tiny leak on one end cap. So, put a new radiator on, give it some hammer, come back to the track here today, and we're winning a second as fastest lap, but still understeering like mad. So, Anthony's there. We need to figure out why it's understeering. Diff hadn't had a rebuild in a full season, so they're a wear item. So, we'll get that ripped out and have a look. So, that's a noisy M4, he got black flagged. The end of the day, just after 8:30. So, 5:30 while 8:30, 3 hours on track. It's not a bad bit of work really. A5's been pretty good, M4's been good as well. I think that's on a bit skinnier tyre, that's a 265 there on 295s. I don't think that's got the grip that's got, and that's got just tons more mid-corner grip. You can just get straight on power, where does that traction control's kicking in. But I think one of the guys have just said he did a 118 in M4, that did a 120. So still, I think for a car that's going to have used at least half, if not a third of fuel that they've used, because that M4's just drunk absolutely tons, I think it's good. You're not going to, if you don't actually time yourself, 2 seconds a lap's absolutely nothing. We were overtaking all sorts of stuff when we were out, having a good time. Hopefully the footage turned out good. First time I've tried talking while I'm driving, and yeah, we're changing gear a bit silly sometimes, but when you've got flappy paddles, just do it for the sake of it. So yeah, car's been good. We had a couple little drips of oil, so we're going to have to have a look if we can do a bit more permanent fix on that gearbox. But it's not broken, that's the main thing. So if we're going to have stressed it some more, maybe we're going to be able to see what we've done. So yeah, hopefully this concludes what should be an interesting video. I think you don't record as much stuff while you're doing things like this as you probably should. We'll get better at doing that. So thank you. If you like what we're doing, subscribe.